wanted to make this video for you instead of getting a generic one because I like walking you through this. I did some of this with you already before we had to close school, and then you also saw a couple of videos that I made to help you get through the negative commands. So the -2 commands we already saw is not too difficult so far. Don't use my pencil. If it's an AR verb, you're going to end it in ES. No uses mi lápiz. We're going to do a little bit of an opposite. AR verbs now get ES endings. ER verbs get AS endings. It's kind of like a crisscross. You're flipping that around. But it's not as easy as that. And that's why I'm here today, to just give you a video. I highly recommend that you have a notebook and write down this information, because when you write it down in your copybook, it's going to stick with you a little bit better. If you just use this as a reference, then it's not going to stick as easily. So feel free to pause this, replay it, but definitely have a pen and paper so you can write notes down. This is something that you already know. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as that all the time. So when we're dealing with negative commands, again, it's telling somebody not to do something. Don't throw a ball at my head. Don't listen to those bad kids over there. Those are all negative commands, telling somebody not to do something. So there's a rhyme that's going to help you remember a -2 command so that you won't make any mistakes, because it's not always as easy as changing AR verb CS endings, okay? So some of your classes got to see this before we were quarantined, but for some of you this might be new. So the rhyme says, take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now you're through. Take the O. If the model is the verb caminar, which means to walk, and I want to say don't walk in the street, don't walk in the opposite direction, okay? Take the O means, what's the yo form of the verb? Caminar, it would be camino. Drop the O, so now we drop the O and it's just camin. Opposite the to form, you can get a little closer on this part, camera girl. It says AR verbs end in ES, that would be the opposite of what we usually have. ER and IR verbs end in AS, that would be the opposite of what the to form usually looks like. So AR verb caminar now has an ES ending, and now you're through. No camines is the way to say don't walk. Again, try to think and always remember that. Take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now you're through. Negative commands are take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now you're through. So that's going to help us out for a lot of verbs that are not going to be as easy as just flip-flopping the endings. So some of you may say, and some of you did ask those last couple days before we stopped, why take the O, drop the O? What's the big deal? Why is that necessary? And the reason why is, if you can get a little bit closer on these, please definitely pause and write down these notes, because it will be very helpful for you. Many verbs are irregular in the O form, and this irregularity is needed for the -2 commands. It's also going to be needed for the usted commands, affirmative and negative. Ustedes commands, affirmative, negative, and subjunctive, which is something you'll see in Spanish 3, okay? What does that mean when I say many verbs are irregular in the O form? Well, think of the verb tener. If I wanted to make the -2 command of this, I can't just change the ER ending and have an AS. It doesn't work like that. That would be wrong, okay? Because tener has something weird in the O form. So if I take the O and I drop the O, opposite to, now you're through. No tengas would be the -2 command for tener, okay? That's not the only one. All of our go verbs are one of those verbs that are a little bit weird. They're a little bit irregular in the O form, but that irregularity is needed for these commands. That's going to continue out for all these commands, and in Spanish there when you see the subjunctive. Another verb, another go verb would be the verb decir. Decir is the verb to tell. If I want to say, don't tell lies, I can't just take this IR verb and put an AS ending. Even though, yeah, -2 commands, AR verbs will end in ES, ER and IR verbs will end in an AS. But you still have to follow this pattern of take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now you're through. To make a negative command, and the reason why is because this is not right. That's wrong. Because this here is one of our go verbs. So I'm going to take the O. I'm going to drop the O. Opposite to, so IR verb's going to get an AS ending. And now you're through. No digas mean don't say, don't tell. Plenty of go verbs are going to work like that. I have a verb here that is a new verb from this past chapter, conducir, which means to drive. If I would say, don't drive my car, if I would say, don't drive in the wrong direction, I have to take the O. That one has something weird going on in the O form. It's a ZCO. I'm going to drop the O, opposite the two. Now I've heard no conduzcas is going to say don't drive. So that's why we can't just flip-flop our endings. We have to take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now we're through. These are not irregular verbs at all. I'm going to show you in the next video the irregular verbs, but this is all regular verbs. You just have to watch out for some verbs that have the irregular yo form, because when that happens, we're going to still follow the rules. Take the O, drop the O, opposite to, now you're through, and that's going to help us. They are regular as long as you follow that pattern. And I'll see you in the next video for the irregulars. Thanks. Gracias.